Hey everybody, we are back better than ever. We have an amazing guest today. Her name is Janet, and she has just completed a 130-day juice fast. It has completely transformed her life. And she did a 60-day juice fast before that, I think was a great experience as well. So we're gonna find out what happened. Grab a juice, let's get into it. Hey Janet, how's it going?
Hi, Jillian. Thank you so much for having me on your show.
Yeah, thanks
So
for coming
excited.
on. So you did 130 days. What? That is so long. I've only done 37 days. And I've been thinking with a new year upon us and everything, we're in a new year now. I've been thinking about doing a juice fast because I haven't done one in years. And the 37 days I did, I never felt better. I think it's just such a great cleanse, such a great cleanse for our cells. Our cells can carry things like trauma and just crap we eat and stuff and get clogged up. So I think it can like really cleanse that and just set us up for a better life. But take us through, why did you decide to embark on a juice cleanse and what happened?
Thank you. So the first time around was back in February. So right now, what is this, December? So that was for 60 days. And the reason why I went on that fast, I was really sick. I think just years and years of trauma to my body and just being unhealthy. Even though I tried to be healthy, I thought I was most of the time. But it was like just me doing like the cheating days of eating whatever I wanted. Alcohol in my 20s and my teens, just my body being run down and just being irresponsible with my life. And it all caught up to me at 40, at 41, it caught up to me. And I couldn't, all of that, like childhood eating like crap, your parents are doing their best. They're doing their best. I'm not blaming anybody
They
here, but
are. And I'm a parent now. As a parent, you do your best. You make so many mistakes, but you do your best, right?
right. And there, that's love, then giving us like my mom making whatever she was making or giving us, Friday it's out to eat. She got paid, we were just simple family. So we were TV kids. So we were eating the worst food. I mean, from McDonald's, Taco Bell, you name it. And what happens is that stuff is still in me, right? I mean, it's in my cells, it's done damage. So now I'm in my 40s, even though I'm doing my best, I'm drinking alcohol, I ruined my body with that. And it all caught up to me. I mean, my body was so toxic. I was literally one day in my kitchen as a private chef. I was in my kitchen. I was blacking out randomly. I would just black out, and I knew something was wrong to the point where my hair was falling out. My mom would see it, concerned. Hey, everything okay? I can't really hide this stuff anymore. When my mom's seeing my gushes of hair coming out, and after I used her shower, and so it was just so bad that one day I was walking out in my kitchen, fainting, missing work. It was so bad. And one day in my room, I started coughing to the point where I couldn't breathe. And I was scared. It got to the point where I'm like, okay, this was happening. This has been happening. And now I'm on my knees, not being able to breathe. Like something needs to change. And that's when immediately I decided, like, I'm going to do something about this. I'm not one to go to the doctor, but at that point, I just wanted to know what I already knew, that this was real, that I could die, you know? And
Very.
yeah, it was so real. So I looked in the mirror before I went to the doctor and I said, and I looked at, through talking to God and source and very spiritual. And I said, okay, I'm done with playing these games. I know better. You've given me chance after chance. I've had near life death experiences in the past,
Mm.
drinking and driving. Like I could have died, killed someone, and I got away with that so many times. And I said, I mean, this was in my 20s, but even in my 40s, I think at like 41, I did that stupidly. And I was just
Wow.
playing with my life. And finally I said, okay, God, what's up? Like, you've given me chance after chance. I've got like 10 angels, and I'm not doing this to myself, and I'm not doing this to you. What do I need to do? I looked in the mirror. I said, I'm going to do what it takes. And I'm going to show you that my life is worth something. I need you to help me, though. Give me a sign, but let's do this. And I'm going to make my life everything I needed to. Went to the doctor. Where they're like, you have walking pneumonia. It could be worse. And I said, okay, like it's, I was like, oh shit, this is crazy. And then they said, we can test you. It's going to be like $500, because you may have to stay here. And I was like, let me go home. I know what I need to do. Well, I got a juicer because I've known this for many years. Like I said, I've never implemented. I was talking the talk, wasn't walking the walk. I got my juicer and I committed to healing myself. And so I did. I went on a juice fast journey. It was me, myself, sitting on the couch. Actually, your show, watching every episode because I'm on my own here. Nobody can understand me. I didn't talk to my family about this. Nobody could understand what I was going through. It was so, and I didn't want to scare anybody. So I'm like, let me just heal myself. I can do this. I
People
know I
just
can.
don't truly get it. I think when somebody's a lot of times, right? Unless they've gone through it themselves. Like a lot of times, I had somebody living with me, a family member that I was taking care of, and he was going through such a hard time and he would just constantly get so frustrated because it was such a hard time for him. Hard to walk, hard to breathe, hard to do all these things. And like his friends would call and just like people don't get it, unless you're really going through it, people don't get it. And
It's
we're just,
unfortunate.
yeah, sometimes we're just like on our own through these things. So we have to, get the diagnosis and then figure out the best path. And it sounds like you found this best path. Thank God. This is crazy. So all this was recent, right? Like this was all
February.
recent. Like you were so like this time last year, you were still drinking and doing all these things.
Yeah, I wasn't drinking like I used to. Like in my 20s, I was a mess. Like, and I was still functioning. I've always been successful in my life, like a go-getter, a leader.
Hmm.
Somehow, like I said, I had angels. But my mom's like, "Ah, you still made it happen though in life." I go, "Yeah, but I mean, I was really sick and like dying. I wasn't gaining weight and being reckless with my life. But finally, it's like it sucks. This has to happen to so many of us, right? You have to get so sick. And luckily, for so many, it doesn't have to happen, which is what I try now. My mission is to share the message. Like, you don't have to get so sick. Like, we can do this every day with
Yeah,
going
like
raw,
because
just eating.
we don't want to wait to get so sick too, because sometimes you can't wait and it's too late. Sometimes something will just happen and like we all do the best we can, even if we're healthy, we never know what's going to happen, right? I have friends who are 37, whatever, so many years vegan or plant-based, they still get cancer, things can still happen. But we got to do the best we can because sometimes it is too late. If you're heavily abusing your body, sometimes you'll just have a stroke and it's too late, or you'll have a heart attack or something will happen and it's too late. So like we don't want to
Yeah,
let it get there. And the mental health benefits and the changes in our energy and all these things when we take care of ourselves and when we respect our body, right? So much of it and what we attract when we're respecting our body. So, okay, there's so many
yeah,
things to touch on, obviously, but
yeah.
let's
So
take
that
us
was
through. So
that
you
though.
got the juicer. Did you get a NAMA or no?
The Nama, that's my baby. I got the
Oh,
Nama. I got it
the
in
best.
white.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the best juice. And let me tell you, it's good to get. I meant to say this too. It's like you got to invest in a good juicer because what happens? I thought about this many times. I'm telling you, I was so committed. Like day 30, day 40, I was like, oh my God, if something happened to my juicer, what would like I would literally have to stop everything. Like I'm in it and I have to start buying juices every day. Like how? I was waking up at 5 in the morning every day. 5 in the morning, like, and I'm like, what am I going to do? So no, I think it's important to get a good juicer because this could save your life, literally.
Yeah, and it's not the same. Like I know I had those moments on my juice fast. Oh, what if it breaks? Because you start to feel so good and you're like, this is the best experience of my life. I can't lose this juicer. Something better not happen to it. Luckily, the Nama, like it's a great, it has a 15-year warranty. You guys want one? I'll put a code down below so you can save. But making them fresh is such a huge difference too versus buying them out. Because I know a lot of people ask me, oh, can I buy it at the store or whatever? You can. I mean, do whatever is best for you or whatever suits your lifestyle and use whatever juicer is in your budget. When I first started, I got one at a garage sale. If you can afford a good one, get a good one. And it just makes all the difference in the world making them fresh. You can tell such a difference in the life in it, the vitality, like the enzyme force. So you started drinking juices. You just went right into it cold turkey. And
Yeah.
was it easy? Like, how did you stick to this long and what were the benefits you experienced?
Yeah. By the way, it's not even that expensive and you get a coupon. Like, honestly, I don't even like when you need it, it's worth it.
Hmm.
But But yeah, the benefits were fresh juice every day for me, fresh juice every day. And I think like 3 weeks, 2 weeks into it, 2.5 weeks, I felt better. I wasn't sick. Bronchitis was gone. Pneumonia, that was gone. It was just me now finishing the job and kind of just studying everything I was doing. John Rose, Lou Corona, Dan McDonald, your show, really just dove deep. And I've been listening to like these people as my mentors, Shane Sterling. These people have been my mentors for many years. I never implemented anything. I knew and I talked about health, but until I got sick, I was like, whoa, I was meant to be on this mission to share this. And now I can implement it because now I'm walking the walk, like I'm not perfect, but I'm damn way better than like I'm good. So yeah, it changed my life. I just started juicing and I felt better and I knew. I was always like, this was it. And like 10 years ago, when I was really going wild, in Hollywood growing up drinking, I was still kind of tippy-toeing into this health world and talking about it and eating raw and, vegan chef and all this, but I wasn't healthy. I was not consistent. And now finally I'm like, oh, all of those years have led me to this moment.
Mm.
So it just made sense. But yeah, I just felt better and I knew that this was it. And I just kept going and going. I got mucoid plaque towards the end. And that's when I thought, okay, I'm good. So then I just stopped, but and then I just started teaching about this and coaching people. They were watching my journey, and now that's here I am. I coach and I talk about it and I live it, and I'm here to be of service because like I said, I spoke to God and I said, I'm here for you. Use me, and I'm going to do what it takes. And this is the real truth. This is it.
Wow, amazing. And you look amazing. You can tell, like, you're exuding health. You can tell it's had like a really positive change on you, like inside and out. And what would you say are a list of the benefits or like the changes or like the amazing things you noticed internally and externally? Because I know there can be a lot of things happen when people do this. And I think it's just inspiring for people to hear if they're thinking of embarking on this or just interested in what happened to you, like in detail.
Yeah, so physically and spiritually, two different things, right? So physically, I my hair stopped falling out, which is one of the first signs. My nails are growing like crazy. I have to cut my nails all the time. My skin is plumpier on the 130-day fast recently, that one. My skin was just like crazy. It was like, whoa, like fine lines that I had where I looked tired and you can see everything was just plumped out. But imagine all the hydration I'm getting in, the hydration we should be getting, which we're not. Most people aren't hydrated. The mineral intake, the enzymes. I was fully ready and charged with my green juices and my juicing and my hydration. So that was extreme for me. And I noticed when I stopped my fasting, my body was so thirsty at that moment too, because it got used to it. So what's been really positive is now I'm like hydration, hydration, minerals, because your body's like, this is the truth. You need to be hydrated. So now I'm like hydrated all day. I'll have pineapple juice. I used to drink the whole juice, all of it just with pineapple. Now I cut it with water just to
Mhm.
kind of make it like a mineral water,
Smart.
pineapple juice. So I've changed, yeah. So I've just implemented my juicing into my world now and elements of it. But it's changed my life physically. I'm not sick like I was. I grew up on medications. I was always having allergies. It got worse because of the medications. None of that. It
Mhm.
really was me clearing out 20 pounds of mucoid plaque and mucus from my body that I've documented this. I have pictures of this. Long chunks of mucoid plaque to small. And I knew when I saw that coming out of my body, I said, this is the reason why I was sick. Now I could put it together. When you could see what was coming out, I'm like, this is why I was fainting in my kitchen. This is why I was blacking out. This is why I was sick to my knees because I had so much inflammation, mucus, and toxicity through my body. So that was huge. So the physical aspects and spiritual aspects, I found my mission in life, which is what they say when you fast or you go through, some kind of journey like this. I really did. My mission has been there, but now I can actually live it and keep going. And I want to reach all my dreams and my goals. And I'm never going to stop because the self love that I found within me through this, I want to take care of myself. I never want to hurt myself. It was very emotional and like a lot of crying. I just did a YouTube video for my channel the other day talking about my 130-day fast. And in the middle of it, I did not expect this. I was talking about what I felt and I just started crying.
Wow.
So I think sometimes you get these realizations after it's been said and done because I just
Yeah.
hadn't felt that. And I was like, whoa, and I couldn't stop crying. And I was like, reverence for my life. And if we all could really acknowledge the beauty that we are God's children, we wouldn't hurt ourselves and damage ourselves irresponsibly with what we eat, what we do, what we drink. So that was the biggest thing was the self-love.
See, and that's the most important thing. If we have self-love and like we vibrate on that frequency of self-love, like there's nothing greater of a life experience than us to live like that, right? Like
Yeah, you just
really,
more
and you
forgiving.
attract like the best life possible and you live the best life possible. So really taking care of yourself and how you choose to eat, it really does start there, I think. I mean, I know it's not everything, but it is so much. And this is crazy. I know you mentioned too you had a near-death experience before. Like, I don't know if you know these NDE stories on YouTube. I watch these all the time, like where people have these near-death experiences where they technically like do die for a period of time and then they go to the other side. Have you heard of these? Have you watched these? Did you experience anything like that? Or was your near-death experience close to death, but you didn't have any sort of like afterlife spiritual experience like that? I know it's a different topic. I'm just so
Yeah,
into
no,
that.
it's fascinating. There's so many things, right, to talk about, Jillian. But like yeah, I haven't seen those videos, but my near life death experience twice was when a couple times. I think it's close to death, not remembering getting home after drinking and driving. And I'm embarrassed to talk about this, but if it can
You know
help
what, though? I
anybody.
admire you for talking about it because a lot of people would have shame and wouldn't want to talk about it and would feel judged. We live in a world where people are unfortunately like super judgmental and we're not all perfect. We've all made mistakes. So I admire you for bringing it up and you can help people see, like, I'm sure if you compare your drinking and driving days and how you were feeling compared to living a clean life, is it not so much better? If someone's watching and they're currently stuck in that garbage of a life, would you not recommend give that up before something terrible happens and choose the better side of starting to take care of yourself, right?
The time is now to change. You know, you've had enough chances. Yeah, the time is now because you can hurt someone, you can hurt yourself. And I haven't talked about this ever in my through my journey, but I guess it's meant to be talked about. And if it can help anybody, yeah. And it's all possible. Well, I stopped drinking through my juice fasting. There's no way I can drink anymore after you clean your
Yes,
body
way
out.
to go. That is so huge.
Oh,
Alcohol
yeah.
is so toxic. Like I used
Yeah.
to drink every day too. My whole 20s, I was drunk every day for at least a decade. Like after work, my husband and I would drink a couple bottles of wine or beer and barbecue. That was our thing. And I didn't think I had a problem. Like, I don't know about you, but I grew up in a town where it was more normal to drink than not. And if you didn't drink, like something was wrong with you. And this was normal to me. I would get up, be a real estate agent. I was like a functioning alcoholic.
Same.
And I felt like crap. Like you wake up in the mornings and your gut just feels like ugh. So think what it's doing to your gut lining. It's one of the worst things for your nerves, alcohol. It is like it can lead to neuropathy and all kinds of terrible things. So
Brain damage,
hey,
liver damage.
yeah, brain damage, liver damage, the chronic elevated blood sugars can cause a lot of problems in people's bodies that they don't realize too. And alcohol can wreak havoc on those things. And you know, I think her name is Wendy Williams, right? That talk show host. That do you know that girl?
Yeah. Yeah.
I think she's in a wheelchair now or whatever. She has full out like dementia or Alzheimer's now or whatever it is. And her son spoke out and said it was, and she's only in her 50s and said it was alcohol induced from heavy drinking. Alcohol
Wow.
induced. So we don't want to mess around with the alcohol. Like our brain is so important. It's probably to me, it's the most important thing that my brain is running as good as possible. So good for you. Bravo. And thanks for being open with us about all this. And I'm so happy for you that you quit. Do you think you will ever go back to drinking? And any advice for somebody to quit drinking or quit the toxic foods or give up all the crap?
I think with that, and it's funny because I was drinking socially, like you say, and we think it's normal, but society makes us think like it's normal. And people ask me, well, were you an alcoholic? Did you go to AA? No, like I didn't. It wasn't like that. But it doesn't have to be that bad to be bad. It's bad when you think it's normal. You're always drinking. Like it's actually spiritually really toxic and demonic, to be honest. I mean,
Yes,
I was having nightmares, and I think it does something to your energy, your frequency. It lowers it. So
it
we
does.
have natural light biophotons, and we're born with biophotons. We are meant to be nothing but light others, light consciousness, right? So when we drink, that diminishes our biophotons. When we eat poison food, that diminishes our biophotons. We cannot be what we were meant to be in this world. So all of these things matter. And so I don't drink anymore. Also, I was having nightmares, crazy nightmares, demonic nightmares, something coming over me at night when I was sleeping. This is no joke. So if you are having anything like this, I implore you to just think about this really and maybe go on a juice fast. Seriously, this is what helped me. So people are like, well, how do we stop? What helped me? Cleaning out my body. My body no longer wants it. I can't drink. I
Mm.
can't because my body, my spirit was like, away. You got to go. This is time. So you are able to overcome this. It is possible. It is possible.
I can
for sure.
tell, like, I can tell that this has had a huge transformation on you. Like I could just feel it. I can tell, and I love it. I'm here for it. I want you to keep
Thanks.
going. I don't ever want to see you go back to the other side. And thank God, like, you made it this far and you made it through all of this and you made it to the other side. And your whole life is just beginning now, like in your 40s. Isn't it beautiful? Isn't it
Oh
incredible?
man, I say 40s. I feel better than I felt in my teens. Yes, I'm gonna go that far because in my teens I was sick with allergies, Flonase up my nose,
Mm,
like skin, you know. And then my 20s, party girl, like going nowhere, functional, like but still like not
yeah.
doing, had no
Yeah.
mission. I was like, I need to do this, and I wasn't doing anything though. And 30s, it was also, and now 40s, I'm like, oh man, I feel better now. So for any of you, let me tell you, it gets better. And Jillian, you look amazing, right? It
Thank you.
gets
Thank you.
better.
Thank you. And don't you feel like that high you're chasing or what you're chasing in your 20s or whatever age, even some people in their 40s and 50s with the alcohol and with the partying, with the food, like you get that natural high that's 10 times better than any of that when you just eat clean and really take care of yourself. Even
Totally.
or on a juice cleanse. Like how you feel on a juice cleanse is 10 times the high than those other things, but it's like a natural high and a real true connection to your higher self and God and spirituality, like nothing ever else, right?
Yeah, because it's like less is more. We're so dependent. I think a lot of, well, I know speaking for myself, I was like seeing myself live and I knew that there was something more. It's like sometimes we're robots just living life, waking up, doing this, checking in, doing this, and we're not just still, and we're, used to needing this and needing this from out something that's outside of us. So depending on other things, whether it's like I'm going out here, I need to go out to eat. It's time. I need to eat now. Now I'm on a schedule. I got to do this. Now it's like, when you're
Yeah.
juice fasting, you're just like, okay, like I know for me, I was like, it was me home.
Okay. And
Me.
when you're juice fasting, everything gets very still, like in the most magnificent way. I don't know if you noticed that. You probably did, because on my 37 days, I noticed like my mind is so quiet. It makes you really realize how what you consume affects your thoughts and affects you in such a major way. Because on the juice fast, when I really cleared out, my mind was just so still and quiet. It was like I was in a walking state of meditation. And your thoughts are so connected. I would look forward to sleeping because my dreams would be like so incredible. So you must have noticed a big change in your
Yeah,
dreams on the juices versus on the booze, right?
man, opposite. So I haven't talked about this, but it's kind of vulnerable too. But I think it's good to be honest. Like I said, there are demonic spirits in alcohol, and
Mhm,
I had like I was being in one
mhm.
of it's two
Wow.
twice. So and I want to talk about that because that's real. Like we're in a spiritual world here. And so what happens is when your body is so weak, Jillian, you're so weak, and I wasn't getting any nutrients. Like I said, I released 20 pounds of mucoid plaque. So I'm releasing all, this is how sick I was. So guess what? Now you're susceptible to demons or energies.
Yeah.
Whether you're dating somebody or the spiritual world, it can attack you now, and because you're so weak, when your body is weak, this your higher spirit is kind of this not much it can do. So yeah, the juicing changed my life completely because now my cells were stronger. Now I've replenished my body. I've released that darkness, the parasitic entities, right? So it goes deeper, but now I don't have any of that
You
because I
probably
am
needed
strong.
this. Yeah.
What's up?
Like you probably needed this with all, because some people might be like, it's too extreme. And I understand that. Definitely, if it feels too extreme for some people, don't do it. Because some people juice fast, they might be like, this is too extreme for me. I'm going to do this juicing and then I'm going to want to head back to KFC or something. So, like, I get it. It's all about balance and finding out what works for you. But I think you needed this to like detox from all the like abusive habits you had and to really see how it is to feel really good and be connected to this lifestyle, right? Like this was just totally the way for you.
Yeah, I think I was so going on the wrong path. And I think I have angels, like I said, and I had many chances all my life, chance after chance, another chance traveling to Peru on my own. I had a near life death experience. I went by myself. I've always done things like that on my own. That was my spiritual way. That was my juicing, before I knew juicing in this world. And I say that because when you're juicing, like you said, there is stillness. This is our truth. When we're the lightest, this is our truth. Now we just have to live in this physical reality implementing this. So, not taking on all the burdens of the world, feeling lighter, being lighter. And this is why being raw, going raw and only eating raw really allows us to be as balanced as possible because we're not so heavy. And that's our
Mhm.
truth, to be calm, to be not in fear, to be in a state of love,
Yeah.
right?
That's our true self, all the like, yeah, calm, loving, not fear-based. Because there's two ways to
Yeah.
live our life, out of love or out of fear, and who we are is really out of love. So we have to tap into that. And a lot of times what we consume and how we're eating can affect whether we're operating from a place of love or a place of fear, right? I think people don't even realize like you are what you eat. That's why you're having these demonic nightmares and stuff. You're consuming this alcohol. Like we become the things we consume. Like every little single thing. And it
So,
all adds
yep.
up. It's like, oh, just a little thing here, a little thing there. Well, before you know it, you're 70, your body's been built up of all those things you've done, and let's live our best lives, right? Enough of this.
Enough of this. And I want to say one thing too. Like, so I have a free guide for any of you who want to go vegan, raw vegan, and don't know where to start. And the title is, well, it's Raw Vegan 101, but it's From Plate to Soul. Because
Mm,
really, it does matter from plate to soul, because what we consume is bigger than just a matter. It's like a physical matter. It's like there's just so much to it, because a clean temple is going to only um, shine whatever's going on inside, right? So if we're clean within, just like you have a clean apartment or your car is clean, it feels better, right? You feel
yeah,
lighter. There's
so much
cleanliness.
better.
There's
Yeah.
godliness. When it's dirty, you have clutter, like people who hoard, hoarders.
Yeah.
Most of them don't. I mean, it's a lot going on, and that's getting into a darker element there. So cleanliness is key, and in our body it starts. We clean our temple, we clean our mind, our body, our soul, our spirit. So
I love it. I love it, Janet. I'm here for it. And you did. Okay, so I want to talk about raw vegan in a second too. We'll have to talk about your transition into that. But let's just wrap up with the juice fasting too. So people are going to want to know like what was your protocol? So like how much did you drink a day? Maybe some tips for how you stayed on track, and like did you cheat at all, or did you went the whole 130 days only juice, or did you have a couple days here and there where you were like this is ridiculous. I'm going to eat this. I'm going to eat this. I need, or was it the whole way through like only juice?
no, the whole way I have to, because you see, when you embark on something like this, it's not about anybody else. It's not about this is another thing. It's not about comparing how many days you go. I had to go that far, y'all. I was so sick, and I wasn't eating, and I had stuff coming out of me that was unholy. So it was just me and my mission. So in order for me to get the most out of this, if I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do it all the way, because I'm not eating. I'm really taking the time to heal myself right now. So I just kept going every day, waking up at 5 in the morning to make my fresh juice, because I was so committed. I think one time I slept at my mom's. I brought juice over there, but it was like my juice. And then I think once I got like a freshly made OJ somewhere, just because I needed to drink enough. So you definitely want to drink at least 6 quarts a day. And the problem is people aren't drinking enough, and they're tired. This isn't
Yeah.
working for them. They're not drinking enough calories. You don't get hungry when and that's what I knew. It's like when I drink my 6 juices, and sometimes more, the more the better. And I know you've said this too, and it's true. You're not hungry. It's when you're hungry, your mind starts acting up. So when you can replenish yourself fully, then I would start working. I'm doing my business out with my coaching. So I'm on my business. I was just focused because I wasn't thinking of hunger, because I had 6 of these a day. And so, like, pineapple, orange, and my green juice. Pineapple was my favorite. So I would wait to that, because I was like, oh, I can't wait for that. And I mean, just drink enough and commit to yourself, and don't compare your journey to anyone else's. And if something happens it's not perfect, you do better the next day. But it's not about,
Mm-hmm.
being hard on ourselves.
Yeah.
Be proud of yourself for doing this, for stepping into this.
Mm-hmm. That's great. And so you drank fruit juice and green juice? Were you worried?
Yeah.
Some people worry like, oh, so much sugar. What about the blood sugar spikes and stuff? Did you feel stable? And or was that just like, who cares? I'm gonna drink as much fruit juice as I want?
No, no. My
Hmm.
main juices were 3 of these, and then OJ and pineapple were the rest. And then I'd bring in a watermelon, because it,
And
it yields so much. But I had to do the right ones, because what was getting out the stuff was my green juice, and was giving me energy. And also the pineapple with the bromelain, and the OJ was really helping get everything out, because I was getting chunks out. This is why you drink the right juice. But yeah, so too much fruit sugar, I would say cut it with water, in my opinion.
hmm
And also Luke Corona talks about this too. He's not so big on fruit juices. He's one of my mentors. Shout out. He's awesome. But he talks about, it's not you're so the thing is we're juicy right now. We're getting the work done. So I didn't focus so much on that at the moment because right now I'm like, listen, I need to get this 25 pounds of infestation out that's making me deathly sick. So then I'm gonna transition into I'm not going to be drinking pineapple juice every day like normal. I'm going to be eating it. And now I have pineapple juice in my refrigerator. I cut it with water. I add ginger and lemon. So I'm not spiking my blood sugar because I
Hmm.
absolutely think that is not, in my opinion, you can't just drink sugar like that. It's
I'm starting
fruit.
to
It's
think the
healthy
same
for us.
thing. Yeah. I'm starting to think the same thing.
And it's still great, right? When we eat it, this is nothing. I don't think that's a problem at all. I love fruits. I don't eat mostly fruit, but drinking it, you're literally we're not meant to. We're not out in nature,
yeah.
juicing, but we can drink it and just
Yeah.
mitigate it. You mitigate the
Yeah.
sugar intake.
Yeah. And so with the green juice right there you've got. So what's the recipe in there? This favorite one. It looks really good. I like the color.
Yeah, this is Ginger Blast.
Oh, lemon ginger blast. Okay, I'll try and
Yeah,
put that on the screen right now. That's by Lou Corona. You guys, I'm
yeah.
interviewing him today too. I'm sure if you watch his channel, you guys know him, but 73 years young, 52 years on raw living foods only. I did a what I eat in a day with Lou too. He's the strongest, healthiest person I've ever seen. And I am close to some people at the same age as him whose bodies are completely falling apart. And I know that they wish they could feel like Lou. So I don't know, guys. Lou is doing something right. I'll put his what I eat in a day video down below. I actually just ordered I spent like 500 bucks on all his supplements, like the probiotics, this. I'll put those down below too if you guys are interested. And I'm going to try and eat like Lou for a couple weeks, exactly like he did in that video to see how it is, to see how I feel. And he's pretty greens based. He's pretty high fat, but he
Yeah.
always like soaks and cultures everything. He's not just like eating raw nuts. He thinks everything has to be soaked and then cultured with the probiotics, with this and this. So I'm going to see how I feel because I've never fully tried his way, but I'm going to do some different experimenting.
It does make a difference. Yeah.
Yeah. And okay, so you drank like 32 ounces a day at least. I think that is key. Make sure you feast. Do not fast on a juice fast unless your goals are to like fast a lot. But for me, that's the key to success. Drinking a lot. I feel so stable in all regards on a juice fast. The sleep is better, right? Okay, and you made them mostly yourself. So if there's anything else you can think of we should touch on, oh, maybe you're before we get into raw, because you're raw now maybe your mucoid plaque. So I know some people think mucoid plaque is BS. I think it's real, but I don't think I know anything at the end of the day, guys. Who knows what's
I
real,
have
what's not in this
pictures.
world?
I documented.
I think it's real too. So, but I'm not one of these people that think I know it all or know anything. So form your own opinions, guys. Let me know in the comments. Is mucoid plaque real? And a lot of people have this euphoric feeling when they release all that old waste that can be stuck in our colon. Was that your experience? And did you have a protocol for removing it? Did you use like the psyllium husk and the bentonite clay or whatever it is people say that they use?
Yeah. So for the first month of my 130-day fast, I didn't do anything because I wanted to see, because I'm coaching on this. I'm like, I need to see what's going on without anything. So, and yeah, I released it without anything. But I wouldn't say anything. The juices are magic. The juices are where it's at the end of the day. If you're not drinking enough juice, this stuff can't hydrate. It can't rehydrate and fall off. So I got it out without anything. Then I brought in the psyllium husk, which did help a lot, and also Puridymes, Lucorona's,
Herbal
the what
blood?
is it? The enzymes.
Oh, the enzymes. Yeah, he's a big believer in those enzymes because he says our food and our soils really lack the enzymes. We stopped producing enzymes, I think he said, around age 29. And if you notice, that's when I started to get health problems. So there might be something to it. And I just ordered a bag of those too. Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
no, they're great.
so
And
you
I
took
recommend those for
those.
my protocol because
Mm,
other people were trying to give me other like supplements, and I'm not about supplements because I try to do less is more. But I believe in Lou Corona's message because, and I know we're speaking about him again, but like he's like such a true person, and like Dan McDonald, like they're just so heartfelt. You know what I mean? Like
yeah,
they're
you can
just so
feel it.
real.
Yeah, they're
Yeah, so I'm like,
real.
I'm all about his stuff. So I'm like, so yeah, his enzymes are best quality, but that helped
Yeah.
a lot. So I did that with the psyllium husk and then just drinking enough juice. When I didn't drink enough, if there was a day, the stuff wouldn't come out as much. But when I drank enough and like, but it did make a difference.
Hmm.
But yeah, just seeing that come out of me was shocking. And like I documented, I took pictures, I had gloves on, I was in there. I was like,
I
what
love
is
it. No,
this?
yeah.
What's coming out of me? I need to know. why I was dying. And I was like, damn, yep. I was like, wow, it's not so hard when somebody's sick. When you see what's going on inside, there it is. And that's why I'm
Every
all about colon cleansing.
Yeah, and everything starts from the inside out. Everything's a reflection, everything that's going on. And yeah, that was like me when I started doing enemas years back. I think it was 2019 or 2020. I started to do some enemas and then it wasn't even for parasites, but then I saw parasites in the toilet when I did a coffee
Wow.
enema. I was like, what the heck, man? This is nasty. So you don't know what's inside of you. And what made you do 130 days? Did you set out for that or were you setting out for like 30 or 7 and then the experience felt so good that's what led you that far?
That's a good question. So I started, with my coaching 14 days, guys. We're doing a 14-day juice fast starting August. Okay. So we did a 14-day juice fast. Everyone, they did awesome. 14 days over. Then we transitioned into refeeding gently and all that. And I was like, you know what? I'm not done. Like, I need to keep going because what was coming out of me still. I was like, I'm not done. I can't stop. And then when you've gone 14 days and when you've already gone far enough in a fast, for you to stop, it's like taking 10 steps back when you've already gone so far. So I'm like, let me just keep going. So I kept going. Stuff wasn't, I was having, waste matter come out day 30, day 40, day 50, day 60. It was like, this is crazy. I'm a tiny girl, 100. And I mean, at that point, I was like maybe 108, 110, 108. How is this coming out of me? This is crazy. So I was like, this is crazy. So I was like, I'm like, I'm going to keep going. So I kept going, wouldn't stop. I kept going until I saw that my goal was to stop until I had no fecal matter come out straight up. I was like, I don't care how long this takes. But then it was just not. And then it got lighter and it was 120 days. I was like, okay. I didn't see any more mucoid plaque. I think one more day after I had another chunk come out. And at this point, I'm not taking anything. And I was like, you know what? It was smaller. It was like this piece that I felt like that was in the small intestine so far up. I'm good. Like this stuff is really coming out.
Mm.
Then 125, the smell was like, whoa, this has been up there for fucking 30 years. Like, this is crazy. I was like, I'm there. I'm in it. I've hit the jackpot, seriously. So it's coming
Yeah.
out, coming out. Then I was like, I can stop. I felt it.
Yeah.
And
You know.
that's why I was gonna stop at 90 days.
Mhm.
That was it. But I had to keep going. And then that was it. I just stopped. And at 130, I think it was getting closer to the holidays. And I was like, I've worked already hard. I know I'm there. And now that I'm transitioning to raw foods, this is the beauty of raw foods. It's medicinal, it's cleansing already. So whatever is there that's still stuck, the raw foods will finish the job. And that's what happened. That's what's happening still. So my transition now into raw foods, it's still healing. It's raw
Mhm.
enzymes. It's cleaning out the colon
It's a big
naturally.
difference, yeah, and it's especially needed if somebody's been abusing their body or not eating clean through their whole life, right? And so how did you break the fast with what food? And then how has the transition been and how long have you been raw? And take us through that experience and how that's been.
Yeah, so I broke the fast with a mango. And for that, for 2 weeks, I was on fruit. So just fruit and smoothies. And then I brought in avocado later, like 3 weeks, avocado and nuts. So not, yeah, which is like harder, on the body.
Were they
But
hard to
yeah, I mean,
digest then? Did you notice? Sorry to interrupt. Sorry, guys, I try not to interrupt. Did you
no,
notice that
it's,
they were hard to digest when you introduced the nuts or no?
yeah.
Yeah. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I
Uh,
mean it's okay. It's not natural, like imagine going so long, your intestines shrink, your stomach shrinks, everything. So and then I'm not having to break down nuts. So I soak my nuts still, but if I'm out getting a salad, I'm gonna get some nuts or seeds. Yeah, and then there's a little bloating still. So but this is normal. It takes a couple years, for the body to transition from what I was eating, definitely food, to now going through my fasting, not eating, my intestines shrinking, and the changes that I'm making. So, but that's normal. I mean, it's better. It's way better. I'm way better than I've ever been. I'm never going back to cooked foods because I can't even eat cooked foods because they will constipate me. Like I'm very
mhm,
sensitive, or having heavy nut butters. I can have a little bit, a little seed butter, but I can't go heavy on that because I do notice a difference.
mhm.
So for me right now, it's the best is salads and fruit
And like lower fat?
and lower fat. Lower fat. I
Yeah.
do like fat though.
Me too. I'm a fat addict. I'm a fat addict, and it's yeah, too
But it's
much
good
fat,
for
I
my
think
soul
I've been
too.
consuming. Yeah.
It's good. I
Okay.
know I know fat's good for me. Like it feels
Yeah.
good. It feels aligned. I just have
Yeah.
to take it easy, work with it.
Me too. I'm very like how I used to drink a lot of alcohol in a day. I can be like, oh, I want a lot of fat. And like, I'm very like, I get kind of addictive. So, okay, how did your life change as a result of the juice fast and maybe even the raw? Because I know sometimes these big, drastic internal experiences can change our whole outer world too. Like, we change people around us, we change career, like, a lot of things change for the better typically and put us more in alignment. Was that the case with you? Were there many changes, or did most things stay the same on the outside?
Oh my gosh, everything changed. So even like what I'm doing right now, my mission, my business I'm working on, everything is focused on service and doing God's work, but doing something that I love because when we do God's work, we are living our greatest potential, because God wants the best for us. And so I'm finally like, and we accept ourselves the most and we love ourselves the most when we can finally step into our power. So I think that's changed a lot is just now I'm focused on following what I really want to do because I'm worth it. We all are worth that and we should do that. And nothing should stop us. And also anxiety. I had a lot of anxiety and the way I would react was different than now. Now I'm like, oh my God, like night and day. I'm still, as you can tell, I have a lot of energy. That's just me, though. That's who I
Mhm.
am. But I don't have that fear-based mentality anymore or that uncontrollable angst. I can now see it. This is me, but I'm like, I know when to take a step back and I can be the observer, which has been the biggest thing for me is my anxiety and going for everything I want. We're unstoppable.
I love that. And thank God you made these changes because who knows where you'd be if you didn't make these changes and you
Not
were
good.
still like, you could have had another driving event, ended up in jail, hurt somebody, or hurt yourself so bad that you're not even here, right? So thank God this is just a much more positive path, for sure.
It is. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
And okay, so the weight loss, people might ask me, it was 25 pounds you lost through the whole juice fast? Was it 25?
Yeah, it's about 20, 25 pounds I lost, but it was waste. I lost weight,
Yeah.
waste.
It's
It
crazy how
was
much waste we can have inside of us, even if we're on the smaller side, right? Because you're on the
because I'm
smaller side. You're
small. So
petite.
it
You're
wasn't,
very small.
so what was coming out? And then I saw I used to have like this funny body where I was thin, but then I had this weird belly. And now
Hmm.
it's no longer there because what that was accumulated waste matter. And a lot of us, and that's what I see for humanity when anything going on with them, I'm like, got to clean out the bowels. It starts with cleaning out the bowels, really.
Did you do any blood work before versus since being healthy or no?
I haven't, but I would like to. I would
Hmm.
like to. I want to do this. Yeah, I want to do
Hmm.
blood work. I want to test like where I'm at and everything just to see the comparison. That would be really cool to kind of just really compare.
Yeah. Well, also, like you've learned so much now in your journey about health, right? You've been on this journey, and I know in the first couple years too, especially, you just immerse yourself in all this knowledge and all these personal experiences happen. What would you say are a couple of the greatest things you've learned about health? Or even also a couple of the greatest things about life, because you've been through a lot in life too. Anything that comes to mind? And let me think if
Yeah.
there's anything else I want to touch on. Yeah.
Okay, something really big, and I think it can help a lot of people is that we sometimes get too much caught up in our head and in our mind, and we have fear take over, right? And so, what I've been able to let go is if I have a situation, a struggle, something heavy going on, I can now see for face value what's happening and be the outsider and say, okay, how can I make this better? Let me do my best and let me really do my best. I'm not going to just sit on the couch. I'm like, the universe is going to take care of it. No, let me see what I can do to make this situation aligned with me. So let me
Mm,
align myself. So when we're aligned on our path, we make choices, people around us, the career we do, our lifestyle, how we eat, when everything is aligned to really what feels right, we can let go of fear because we're doing our best. We are aligning with our true purpose. So I feel like I can handle fear now and look at it like if this is not meant for me, let it burn. Let it go, let it burn, let it go. I don't want it. And I'm
yeah.
like, I used to be in it like, oh God, what if I need to do this? And if I can now I'm like, I had a situation recently with something big, and I was like, you know what? If anything, I am a gift here for this person. If we're working together and I'm here, they are also lucky to have me, just as I am. And I'm really like, if this isn't meant to be, I'm doing my best here. I'm going to be okay. I've been okay I will be okay, and I will rise and I will keep going. So we need to see fear as, like, we need to change that story of fear and make it into leaving it to God, doing your best, leave it to God, and then keep going. You're going to be okay.
I love it. Wow,
So
beautiful.
that's been the biggest thing.
Okay, I love that. And one thing that just came to mind, a lot of people, they want to do this. They want to do this juice fast, whether it's 3 days, 7 days, or they want to stick to clean eating, but they have a hard time, especially when those cravings kick in. So any advice for somebody? Like, did you have those moments on day 6 or day whatever, or even now where you crave some of the old stuff? And like, how do you get through those moments and like stay on track with your goals?
I think when you get to a certain point of really doing serious healing within yourself, you have reverence for your life,
Hmm.
that takes precedence. So I had so many chances already that God's given me that, like I said, I broke down. I was making a video. I started crying because I'm like, wow, I never want to hurt myself again. So I feel like getting to that point where you really feel reverence for your life, that nothing, no party, no event, you got to stand in your strength. You got to stand in who you are and respect your life so much. And I do think going on a juice fast, people say, well, that's hard. Honestly, once you do it, it's the easiest way, in my opinion, to quit this, to quit to all the stuff
Yeah.
that's weighing you down. So that's what I'm going to say is like, try doing some sort of cleaning out the temple, whether it's a juice fast or going raw for 7 days. It's like clean out your temple so much so you feel that difference, and that's going to hold you strong, because I really think that it's just remembering how divine we are and how we deserve to live our greatest life. So it's just being in reverence of your life that keeps me going. I'm
I
not
love
like,
that.
I just love, I don't want to feel like shit. I don't want to get on the
No.
couch and be like feel like
No.
a couch
And have those
potato.
crashes, the ups and downs. And I like what you said, even 7 days, even if someone looks at it like a 3 day refresh or 7 days raw, like if it feels too extreme like this and it's not going to be balanced or like beneficial for you, then by all means, like don't choose that path. But I can tell this was right for you, right? Everyone's different. We're all in different positions, and this was right for you. And I love it. Okay. Anything else to end off with? That was beautiful too, if there isn't. And maybe what's your
Thank you.
favorite quote? I like asking people that, and let everybody know where they can find you. And I'll link everything down below. And yeah, and I'll link the juicer down below that we both have and love with the code you guys can save if you need one. And I think that's it.
Thank you so much, Jillian. Yeah, so
Yeah.
actually, I want to say I did have a client who went on just like a 7 day juice fast and then started eating fruit after. His headaches went away. So it can happen in a shorter amount for anybody who just wants to tap in a little bit. His headaches went
Hmm.
away. He lost weight. He couldn't get this belly off. Like, so much happened. So you'd be surprised. Just a little raw food, those live enzymes
Hmm.
could do a lot. So just want to make sure everybody knows that it doesn't have to be this extreme thing. But so a quote that yeah, so a quote that I love is well, there's two, which is let go, let God.
Mm,
I love that,
I
and
love that
also
too. I'm gonna frame that on the wall because I need to live by that more, you know? Yeah.
trust. And I have it on my fridge. Let go, let God, because sometimes you want to like be like, this is the way. It's just like it's okay. Gotta let it be. And then also, I live on the beach. I'm a California girl, so sometimes you just gotta ride the wave, baby. Just
Mm.
ride the wave, because we're in that resistance. That's when you go down in the wave.
It is.
When
That's
you're
what just
resisting.
creates problems in life. That's what I loved about my juice fast. It's like all the resistance just melts away. It's almost like when we're consuming things that we're not meant to consume or that are hard to digest, like it creates resistance in the body and then also in the mind and like in our life, right? And then when you're on a juice fast, you clear like that, like, or you're eating like really clean and eating correctly, it's like the resistance just melts away and it makes life so much more enjoyable and easy
Called
to,
freedom. You're
yeah, it's
free.
called freedom. It's a
Our divine birth.
way better experience than so if you guys are watching and you're, just consider the healthier option today. Consider not going through that drive-through, not picking up that garbage food because it has such a big impact versus if you're eating clean and treat yourself right, right?
Yeah, definitely. And I also have, if anybody's interested, to stay on your path, I have an amazing membership, Raw Living Self Mastery membership community. And it's about being your best self and stepping into your power and you being your own master. You know, there's temptation in society, you got to be this or that. We have the answer inside of us. We each have our own path, and
Yeah.
we're here to master our own lives.
I love that,
So,
Janet. Well, thanks for coming on. I've loved this talk. I could talk to you all
thank
day. I
you.
have another meeting though, so I have to get going. But
Okay.
and I
Thank
know
you for
you're busy, you
everything.
have to go too. But this has been great. So I'll put all your links down below, the ebooks. I also have a new juicing ebook I did. It's 20 free green juicing recipes because green juice, even just a green juice a day, I think is amazing. So I'll put everything below we
Totally.
talked about. You guys go follow Janet, subscribe to this page. I'll put on the screen right now Lou Corona's Lemon Ginger Blast. I've done that a couple times on this channel, and then also another amazing juice fasting interview or an interview with Lou. So go make a juice, put on one of those, and I hope you guys have an amazing day. I hope this inspired you to just eat something healthier and live a better life. Love you guys. Bye.